Good morning, and can I say just a holy wow? Yesterday, we do a thing called At the Movies, and we saw the Jesus Revolution, or clips from it, that just proclaimed the gospel through film, and then our pastor showed verses of scripture and kind of walked through the gospel as the movie did. And I was reminded again of that period of time. I came to Christ that time. I did my doctoral dissertation on that. And I wept at least twice during the service, and was so stirring. And I realized movies can't capture everything about Pastor Chuck and the birth of the movement called Calvary Chapel out of the Jesus movement. But something that's important that Pastor Chuck did is he taught, once his heart was changed toward the hippies, and through his wife, actually. His wife had a burden for the hippies, and his wife, Kay. And then Chuck Smith began to be really burdened for them, as his daughter was. He preached on love for months, and God did a work in the church. And in 6 months, in 1970, the church went from about 200. It had started growing, started reaching a few hippies here and there and some other people, but suddenly it exploded. And in 6 months, it went from 200 to a mega church to 2,000. And of course, this is in Southern California, so it got a lot of attention, the beach baptisms and all that we've seen. There was so much more going on. They were helping people get off drugs. They were starting to sing new music. And of course, our music today in worship is affected by that time. But the point I want to make is that Hebrews 10, I was reading Hebrews 10, 24 and 25 this morning. And I get that pastors really want to emphasize verse 25 because, it says we're to assemble, not to forsake the assembling of together. And we feel pastors feel a lot of pressure to get people in the church. And that's not bad. But the verse before it says, NLT says, let us motivate one another to good works, to love, acts of love and good works, good deeds. And that's what Chuck did. Chuck began to motivate people. And yeah, some people didn't get it. One day he walked into the service, and there was a sign up that said, no shoes, it didn't say no shoes, no service, but basically the leaders of the church were concerned about the carpet. And Chuck Smith brought them together and said, man, tear the carpet out. We're not going to let these folks who need Jesus not come. And a movement exploded that we call the Jesus movement. And we see that the effects of that are still ringing through today, through the ministries of Greg Laurie and many others. It's a powerful thing. Do encourage people to be at church services. It's important. But boy, spend as much time or more motivating people to love and good deeds, especially toward the broken, because Chuck Smith did, and he saw a movement. Have a blessed day.